So Trump secures major win in legal battle against Newscom. Newscom. That's a good thing, man. That's a good thing for President Trump.
Thank you, Bill. A federal judge rejecting an emergency request by Governor Gavin Newsom to limit President Trump's National Guard deployment to L.A. The court set a hearing for tomorrow. The governor saying he is not backing down.
California will keep fighting.
Look at this guy.
Keep fighting on behalf of our people.
Okay, so he said that Californians should keep fighting on behalf of their people. So are those how many illegal criminals was apprehended in the process now? How many of them? Most of them are criminals. Is that your people and they're not even from there? They're not from California, Newscomb. He calls it his people. Is that what the? But see, this is like he's like he looks like he just got done, crying or got done snorting something. His hair looks good though, but he's a liar. This guy's just a dude. You think Bill Clinton's a liar? This guy's a double down liar.
Of our people, including in the courts. We sought an emergency court order to stop the use of the American military to engage in law enforcement activities across Los Angeles. If some of us could be snatched off the streets without a warrant, based only on suspicion or skin color, then none of us are safe.
Yeah. So he has no proof of that. That ICE are nabbing people based on suspicions or based on the skin color. See, he's turning that into like a, white versus non-white. That's what the liberals, that's what they have right now. That's why, and Democrats, that's why I'm sorry, man, they're not going to win. They're not going to win anything in the next, I would say 10 years or 8 years, And this guy he was planning to run for president in the United States, and he's saying all of this, and I thought it was cool, and trying to become like moderate when it comes to, Fetterman in Pennsylvania, he's the moderate, There's a lot of moderate Democrats out there that talks common sense. This guy, his common sense is just out the window with this guy,
Let's bring in Fox News contributor Jonathan Turley ahead of this hearing tomorrow. Jonathan, which way do you think this thing's going to go? For now, the president has been vindicated. Is it going to change or is it going to stay the same?
Well, Jillian, I think the important thing to remember is that the president's going to win at the end of the day because he has the authority and the resources to flood the zone with federal officers. He can do it in a number of ways, including the National Guard. Yeah. He can even use the Insurrection Act, which is many of these California Democrats seem to be pushing him towards, which I don't understand. There seems to be a perfectly valid reason for calming the streets.
Well, because the Democrats want to paint him as the fascist, the whatever Hitler like kind of a leader. That's what they've been trying to do. So they're trying to push him to do that. And Trump is, whether you like him or not, man, he knows how to deal, and he knows how to all the things works. He had surrounded himself with a lot of people that well versed on many of this fight and constitutions and immigrations and all that. So, yeah, the only thing they probably stop that is if California secede from the union, become independent country, or better yet, join Mexico.
And getting security. You have a sheriff who said he was overwhelmed. You have National Guard that have been called out in other areas of the United States to make sure that these riots do not get out of control. Now, at issue with what's called Title 10 is that it starts with a statement that the president has full authority to do this. And then it says the governor shall issue that order. And what the Trump administration is arguing is, look, that's a mandatory requirement. We can federalize the National Guard, and you are to cooperate. Newsom is saying, no, we both have to sign off on it. The court's going to have to decide. But this is going to happen. I mean, Trump has made very clear, President.
The court has to decide. I mean, that's what were they doing then? There was a federal, matter. Of course, he's gonna. Trump sent them there to that location to protect the federal buildings. He's not allowed to do that?
President Trump has made very clear that he is going to stabilize the situation and flood the zone.
I think, Jonathan, it also matters. There's a legal distinction in terms of what these troops, what these boots on the ground are being deployed in order to do, right? Because right now you have people saying that the legal basis for sending in the National Guard and even the Marines that are going to be there imminently is to protect federal property, right? But then you have people muddying on the waters on both sides who are talking about how these people are being deployed to, quote unquote, put out the protests or quell the protests.
Yeah, that's simply not true, that they are being used to guard largely two buildings. But also the rhetoric here, of course, is getting out of control. You had a Democratic member, I believe yesterday, who said, look, ICE has to simply retreat or these types of riots will continue. Well, that's not going to happen. It's not exactly a threat.
That's like a mob mentality kind of. It's a threat. We're going to continue doing this, Yeah, okay.
A useful argument to say you have to stop enforcing federal immigration and then the riots will stop. It doesn't work that way. The federal government has a right to enforce federal immigration laws. They're going to do that. And the question is, will local officials cooperate, and also whether the governor will cooperate to try to stabilize this situation? But it's a non-starter for Democratic members to say retreat or else.
Do you think that the governor's lawsuit right now is sincere? Meaning, do you think he has any guidance from his advisor?
No, that's Newsom, and he's just trying to please his side. That's why he's doing that. That's all like publicity stunt. He wants to be so Trump so bad that he wants to he wants to get arrested. So he's like, like he was saying, arrest me, because he wants to be. He wants a mugshot, just like Trump did. Just like they did to Trump. That actually elevated Trump's popularity and approval rating because of his arrest, and he has his own mugshot and everything. So Newsom and all these Democrats want that. They want that. They want the spotlight. They want the one that's going ahead with Trump. Look at me. I was the one who went ahead with Trump. So when this, Democratic presidential election coming up, or the presidential election in 2028, then Gavin Newsom can put that in his resume, for that primary debate. I'm the one that went ahead with Trump. I got arrested. I mean, that would elevate him, way past Bernie Sanders, way past Pete Buttigieg, or even who was that? The other one? I forgot their names. But anyway, yeah. So he's doing it for all the stunt. This is his opportunity. This is Newsom's opportunity to show that he's the one that's going head to head with Trump, even though he doesn't realize he's digging himself a big hole. Big hole on this one. He's on the losing end.
Advisors that he could prevail, or is it more of a political showdown, a show of strength, countering the president?
Well, in fairness to Newsom, there is an argument to be made here. It depends how you read Title 10.
Newsham.
But, there's a lot of confusion about what happened before that. President Trump just supplied records that he did in fact call.
He got caught on the line, that one.
Newsom made
comes
it
in.
very clear on air that he was not going to approve the use of the National Guard. The federal the government has a separate responsibility. They're not just pedestrians. They don't have to just stand there and watch as another riot occurs in Los Angeles. And this is hardly the first time that has happened. And so the question is when you act. And we saw in Minnesota with Governor Walz that he waited too long to issue the order for the National Guard to go out there. He waited until massive damages had occurred and many people were injured. So this court's going to have a tough decision to make going forward. No court likes to be in this position. But generally, the President of the United States has this authority. And more importantly, he most certainly can bring federal resources into that city.
All right, we will look to tomorrow to see the next steps in all this. Jonathan Turley, thank you.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's a good day, you know. So hopefully Trump can overcome this and continue to hammer those sanctuary cities and get rid of all those criminals out of there. Way to go, way to go.